Daybreak Kitchen with Chef Sebastian from Memorial Health System. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me back again for the holidays.
Yeah, it's the holidays, and I know that's one thing people might stress out about is getting that Thanksgiving meal made. But I think there's some easy things that can get prepped just in time for, well, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and you're here to help us with that, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So with Thanksgiving coming up, one of the really easy side dish is Brussels sprouts. The short time in the oven, the roast, really good flavor.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot to add to it, but a little goes a long way. And short, when you're dealing with the stress of the turkey and family coming over, it can be overwhelming.
You don't want a lot of stress.
Yeah. So this is a really nice side dish to do for your Thanksgiving dinner that doesn't take a whole lot of prep time or cook time, and might relieve some of that for.
And it's still delicious.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
And I feel like Brussels sprouts, we were talking about this a little bit before, I feel like sometimes they get a bad rap.
Yeah.
And I know growing up I was not a fan, but let me tell you what, they have come back and they are really popular.
In my opinion, roasted makes them better.
Oh, I agree with
100%.
that. I agree. Okay, so what's the first thing we're going to do for our Brussels sprouts?
So once you get them, I know you can buy bags at the grocery store. They're already halved or quartered.
Perfect.
So again, save you even more prep time. What you're going to do, if they're not, you're going to go ahead and cut them. We're going to take just a little oil and salt and pepper. You could also use any of your, thyme and rosemary, any of your savory stuff for the season. So we'll just give those a nice little toss there.
I always put garlic in all of my stuff. Would that be something that would go well?
So I've actually got some diced garlic already in here.
I'm basically a chef.
I was ahead of you. There you go.
Basically.
Let's get you that, chef.
I know.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these to the oven, let those roast they don't really take long. You just want to get some of that golden crispy on the outer layers, so you have the nice balance, the crunch, plus your nice soft cabbage. So about 15-20 minutes, check them. If they're not where you want, you can always put it in. It's really, again, there's nothing wrong with how you like to eat things, so it's really preference. So we'll get these off to the side.
Okay.
Do you have to cover them or can you leave them uncovered?
Uncovered.
Uncovered, okay.
That way you get that caramelization and that browning there.
Perfect.
So what we're going to add to it, and we've talked about this in previous recipes, can't go wrong with adding bacon to anything.
Of course.
So we're going to get some bacon to add to this.
Ooh.
As well as we got some pecans that we're going to toast as well.
Do you say pecans or pecans?
Depends on the day.
I agree.
Some people can be a little bit of a stickler about it.
What about you, Henry? What do you say?
Depends.
Depends.
I think it's funny to call pecan pie.
See, I will say, I say pecan, so I'm talking about them individually, but if it's a pie, I say pecan pie.
I think that's how it should work.
It's just how you catch me. It's just
it's your mood.
Sometimes I'm a little more southern for the day. All right, so these will only take a minute. I already kind of pre-cooked our bacon for us. Yeah. But you just want to render out that fat. We're going to toast our pecans. See, I'll give you both. And then we'll just put those in a nice container to the side. When our Brussels come out, we'll toss half of it with them, and then the rest can be for a nice topping, so you can show off at dinner that, hey, I added bacon. All right, so I think once we come back, we will finish topping. We have some nice cranberries as well.
Can't forget about cranberries.
We've rehydrated. That's staple, Thanksgiving. You can't have anything without cranberry somewhere.
Of course, of course. Well, thank you. When we come back, we're going to be finishing up, so stay tuned to see how they turn out. We are back in the Daybreak kitchen with Chef Sebastian to finish out our Thanksgiving side dish of Brussels sprouts, not broccoli. It's a different green vegetable.
The other hated green vegetable.
The other underrated green vegetable. So what do we need to do next for our Brussels sprouts?
So once they finish roasting, we have our pecans and our bacon that we did up. So if you want, you're going to take our Brussels sprouts and use about half of our bacon and pecans there, and you can mix them in the bowl if it's a little easier. And then we'll take about half of our cranberries that we've rehydrated. When it comes to Thanksgiving time, it can be hard to find cranberries because they get bought up once season starts. So what you can do as a cheat is you can buy like your dehydrated craisins or cranberries and just pour some hot water on them and let them sit to rehydrate, and then use those in your dishes as well.
I would never have thought that that would be a thing. Okay.
I didn't know either, but you know what? Probably this weekend, buy those dehydrated cranberries, and that is one thing off your shopping list.
I love the dried out cranberries. So, there we go. Okay, and then I need to do this, right?
About half of them.
Okay.
Just gonna go for the whole thing.
And you could also use, if you have people that aren't cranberry fans, you could use like pomegranate arrows.
Oh.
So you can buy, you don't even have to buy the whole pomegranate and go through the mess. You can buy the little containers of the little pomegranate seeds. You could use that as well.
I love that there's so many different kind of options you can do to make your life so much easier. So
the prep work has pretty much been evolved in grocery stores to being able to buy like mise en place onion and celery and carrots in containers already.
Love that.
So since we're going family style for holidays, I have our nice little platter here.
Nice little squared off platter. Good to present on the table.
Yeah.
And you get small enough to pass around.
Presentation is half the battle, I feel like sometimes.
And then you're passing it to the kids, and they're then passing it on, not grabbing anything. You know what? They're missing out. More for you.
Ooh, it looks so good. And this was so easy. Like we said, there are so many different ways that it saves time, saves energy, so you can spend that extra time on maybe the more complicated dishes, or if you have a favorite dish that you guys like to make, you can spend more time and energy on that than on one of the sides.
Yeah.
So I feel like that just makes everything easier for everybody, because, you know, holidays are stressful enough.
It is.
You can share this to those family members that you tell them to bring something they don't know.
Yeah.
Here's an easy one. You can make them bring something.
You know what? When the online article goes up later on today, if you know somebody that's probably going to say, I don't know what to make, copy that link, send it to them. It's right here.
Right here.
I'll let you
We
guys
made it easy.
dig in there.
Ooh.
Make sure you get some of that bacon.
I know. I might not get the bacon, but I'll get the pecans. Oh. I like the cranberries with it.
No,
But
it's really
sweet
good.
and salty. I like that. Well, as always, it was delicious, and we thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
I enjoy it.
Henry, what do we have next?
I think we're going to be looking at their forecast right after the break.